Welcome back, my dear students, to the mathematics class. So we have completed so many chapters in mathematics, isn't it? Today, let's learn one interesting chapter. See here, I have a few objects in my hand. Are the shape and size same? No, isn't it? All these objects are having different shapes and different sizes. But see this, two diaries I have which are of same size and same shape, isn't it? See this markers, they are of same size and same shape, okay? Similarly, you can find so many other objects which are similar in shape and size. So today we are going to learn about congruence of triangles, which is your 13th chapter. So children, what you see here is the mind map for the chapter congruence of triangles. So in this chapter we would learn about congruence through superposition, congruence of simple geometrical shapes such as line segment, angles, circles, squares, rectangles and quadrilaterals. And we would learn the conditions for congruence of triangles. What are the conditions? SSS congruence condition, that is side, side, side. SAS congruence condition, that is side, angle, side. ASA congruence condition, that is angle, side, angle, and RHS congruence condition, which is right angle, hypotenuse, side. Okay. So what is meant by congruent? Two objects are said to be congruent when they are of same size and shape. Both the size and shape should be the same. The relation of this congruent is called as congruence, okay? And the symbol used to represent this congruency is this, like this. So this is the symbol for congruence, okay? And in this chapter we would learn the congruency of plane figures, as I mentioned earlier. Our next topic is congruence through superposition. So here I have 3 coins, okay? Just by looking at these coins, can we tell they are congruent? No. But if we place one coin over the other, now see whether this is of same shape and size? No, isn't it? Let me check with the other coin. See, now it is exactly superimposed on the other. That means these coins are of same size and shape. So this is called as superposition. That is the method of examining congruency by placing an object over another. So children, I hope you have understood what is congruency. So now let's see the congruence of simple geometrical shapes. First, the congruence of line segments. Here I have 3 line segments, AB, CD and EF. Okay. See, I have marked the length here. Length of line segment AB is 30 centimeter. The length of line segment CD is 30 centimeter and line segment EF is 20 centimeter. Now, among this, which are of same size and shape? All are of same shape, but the size is different for EF. That means AB is congruent to CD. So line segment AB is congruent to CD because they are of same size as well as same shape. So children, we completed the congruence of line segment, isn't it? Now let's see the congruence of angles. Okay, here I have angle ABC. Okay, so exact the same copy of this. Let's draw once again, which is XYZ, angle XYZ. That means A is same as X, B same as Y, and C as same as Z. And the angle here is 35 degree, and here also it is 35 degree. That means both the angles are same. There is no difference. Okay, that means we can write it as angle ABC is congruent to angle XYZ. So children, next let's see the congruence of circles. So you know that all the circles are of same shape, isn't it? All the circles look like this. So draw a circle using your compass with different radius and with same radius. Here I have drawn two circles of same radius, which is 15 centimeters. Okay, so both of these circles are of length, are of radius 15 centimeter each. That means both of these circles are congruent. So children, we completed the congruence of line segment, angles and circles. Now let's see the congruence of squares and rectangles. Here I have two squares, square ABCD and square PQRS. Okay, you know that all the sides of a square are equal. Here the length is 20 centimeter. Okay, so same type of square PQRS with length 20 centimeter is drawn here. So the shape is same and the size is also same, that is 20 centimeter. That means this square is congruent to this square. Similarly, the converse is also true. That means if the length are the same, then both the figures are said to be congruent, and if they are congruent, then the length would be same. Similarly, for circle also, if the radius is same for two circles, then the two circles are said to be congruent. If they are congruent, then the radius would be same. Similarly, for angles also, if the measure of the angle of two angles are same, then they are said to be congruent. In the case of rectangles, you know that the length and breadth would be different. Here for the rectangle ABCD, the length is 20 centimeter and the breadth is 10 centimeter. A similar rectangle is drawn here, PQRS, with length 20 centimeter and breadth 10 centimeter. Here the corresponding length and breadth are the same. Then we can tell that the rectangle ABCD is congruent to rectangle PQRS. Here also the converse is true. Children, we learned the congruence of different geometrical shapes, isn't it? Now let's see the congruence of triangles. Here for a triangle there are 6 elements, 3 angles and 3 sides. Okay. Now I have drawn two triangles here, triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Here if you notice, I have marked the angles like this, which are similar. Okay. So here angle A is equal to angle P. Angle B is equal to angle Q. Angle C is equal to angle R. So 3 angles are similar. And if we give same sides. That is, if AB is equal to PQ and if BC is equal to QR and if AC is equal to PR. Okay, if all these conditions come true, what are the conditions? If AB equal to PQ, if BC equal to QR and if AC is equal to PR and angle A equal to angle P, angle B equal to angle Q and angle C equal to angle R. If all these conditions come true, then we can tell that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Remember, A corresponds to P, B to Q and C to R. Is the same as this? Yes, but we cannot tell that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle QRP. If we give that like this, then it would be wrong because A does not correspond to Q. See, A is having this angle and Q is having a different angle. So, if you write like this, it would be wrong. So, write according to the corresponding angles and corresponding sides. See here AB with PQ, they are the same. BC with QR, BC with QR, and next AC with PR. That means all the corresponding sides and all the corresponding angles are same. So, we can tell that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. So, children, it is time consuming if you want to find all the corresponding sides and corresponding angles and then to find whether they are congruent or not, isn't it? But there are certain conditions for the congruency of triangles. First among them is side, 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 that is SSS congruency. Okay. And the second condition is side angle side, that is SAS congruency. And the third condition is angle side angle, that is ASA congruency. And the fourth one is right angle hypotenuse side, that is RHS congruency. So, if any of these conditions get satisfied, then we can tell that two triangles are congruent. Now, let us see in detail of all these conditions. So, children, let us see the first condition in detail now, which is SSS congruence, that is side, side, side congruence. Here I have two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle MNO. Okay. Here, if the corresponding sides are equal, then we can tell that both of these triangles are congruent. That means two triangles are said to be congruent when the three sides of this triangle and the corresponding three sides of the next triangle are equal. Okay. That means if AB is equal to MN and BC is equal to NO and AC is equal to MO, then we can tell that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle MNO. Okay. We should write the corresponding sides. If we are writing ABC, then MNO are the corresponding sides. If you write BCA, then triangle NOM would be the congruent triangle. If you write CAB, then OMN should be the corresponding triangle. Got it? When two triangles are proved to be congruent, like this, if when two triangles are said to be congruent, then all their corresponding parts, what are the corresponding parts? All these corresponding angles also are congruent, and this is called as CPCT, that is corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Here I have a question from example number 2. Prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DCB if AB equal to DC and AC equal to DB. Okay. So we have to prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DCB. We can make this separately as two triangles as ABC and triangle DCB. We should prove that both of these triangles are congruent, and it is also given that AB equal to DC. AB is equal to DC and AC equal to DB. AC equal to DB. So we got two sides. So these are given. Okay. And if you notice, in triangle ABC, BC is common with triangle DCB. BC is the common side for both of these triangles, isn't it? So here with triangle ABC, BC and this CB is common. That means we got three sides of one triangle and the corresponding three sides of another triangle. So by SSS congruency, we can conclude that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DCB. So this is the condition applied to prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DCB. Next, let's see the second condition, that is side angle side SAS congruence. Okay, here I have two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle MNO. So by SAS congruence, two triangles are said to be congruent when two sides and included angle of one triangle is congruent to the corresponding two sides and included angle of the another triangle. Okay, that means here I have marked two angles, angle M and angle N. If this is the included angle, this and this should be the sides. That means if AB is equal to MN and if BC is equal to NO and angle B equal to angle N. So for these two sides, this is the included angle. For these two sides, this is the included angle, and these are the corresponding sides and angle. That means we can conclude that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle MNO. But if AC is equal to MO and BC equal to NO and angle B and N are equal, angle B equal to angle N. So we have taken these two sides and not this included angle, we have taken another angle. So if we get like that, we cannot conclude that both of these triangles are equal. So it should be the included angle. Okay. So this is all about side angle side, that is SAS congruency. Here I have a question from example number 4. We have to prove that triangle ACD is congruent to triangle ECB. In this figure, and it's given that AB is equal to DE, BC equal to DC. AB equal to DE, okay, and BC equal to DC. BC is equal to DC. Here AB plus BC will be equal to ED plus DC, isn't it? Since they are equal, we can give that AB plus BC, which is AC, and ED plus DC, which is EC. So both of them are equal, AC equal to EC. See, I have drawn the separate triangles of this. So AC equal to EC. We have proved one side. Okay. Next, let's see BC. BC is equal to DC. It is also given. BC equal to DC. Now we got two conditions of sides. BC equal to DC, AC equal to EC. And see, here also we have C, here also we have C. That means angle C equal to angle C is common for both the triangles. That means two sides an included angle, two sides an included angle. So triangle ACD is congruent to triangle ECB. See the figure properly and write the corresponding sides and angle. So from this we got two sides and included angle. That means by SAS congruency we can conclude that triangle ACD is congruent to triangle ECB. So children, we have completed two conditions, SSS and SAS. Now let's see angle side angle, that is ASA congruence. Okay. Here I have two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Here for this congruence, for ASA congruence, when two angles and included side of one triangle is corresponding to angles and corresponding side of the other triangle, then we can conclude that both the triangles are congruent. So here the side should be included. Here we have two angles, angle A, angle B, and this is the included side. AB is the included side. Here also if you see PQR, P and Q, and this is the included side. So if angle A equal to angle P, and if angle B is equal to angle Q, and if AB is equal to PQ, then we can conclude that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Remember to take the included side, not any other side. Included side should be taken, only then we can conclude that both of these triangles are congruent by ASA congruence condition. Here I have a question from the exercise, question number 7. Okay. ABC is an equilateral triangle and AD is perpendicular to BC. We should prove that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle ADC. Okay. What is the speciality of equilateral triangle? In equilateral triangle, all the sides would be equal. That means if AB is 5 centimeter, then BC and AC will also be 5 centimeter. And all the angles would be equal. Okay. angle A, angle B and angle C will be equal. That is the speciality of equilateral triangle. And now we should prove that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle ADC. Since this is a perpendicular, D is the midpoint of BC. It is the middle point of BC. Okay. And these two angles are the same. It's 90 degree. Okay. Now we can prove this question using all the three conditions. So let's see ASA condition. So here, since this is the midpoint, we can tell that BD is equal to DC. And for triangle ADB and triangle ADC, angle D is common. Now we got BD equal to DC and angle D. And since this is an equilateral triangle, angle B and angle C will be equal. Angle B equal to angle C because of this condition. Now we got two angles and included side. That means by ASA congruence, we can conclude that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle ADC. Now with this SSS condition also we can prove this. So from this we got to know that BD and DC are equal. Since this is an equilateral triangle, AB and AC will be equal. And this AD is the common side for triangle ADB and ADC. So by SSS congruence we can prove that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle ADC. So we completed ASA and SSS. So when it comes to SAS, see these two sides are equal and this is the included angle. These two sides are the corresponding sides of this triangle are equal and C is the included side. So from this condition we can prove that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle ADC. So by SSS, SAS and ASA congruency we can prove that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle ADC. Our last condition is right angled hypotenuse side congruence. Before that, do you know what is right angle triangle? A right angle triangle is a triangle which has 90 degree angle in it. Okay. So these type of triangles are called as right angled triangle. So when can we tell that two right angle triangles are congruent? When the hypotenuse and the side of one triangle is congruent to the corresponding hypotenuse and side of the another triangle. It can be any side, okay, any side. And what is this hypotenuse? It is the longest side of that right angle triangle, okay. Now this AC and PR are the hypotenuse, okay. This is the longest side of this right angle triangle. And AB is given as 4 centimeter, PQ as 4 centimeter, AC and PR as 5 centimeter. That means the hypotenuse and the side are equal and it is right angle triangle. That means we can conclude that by right angled hypotenuse side congruence, triangle ABC and triangle PQR are congruent. Here I have a question from example number 6. Here it is given that angle ABD is equal to angle DCA, which is 90 degree. ABD and DCA, these angles are 90 degree. and AB is equal to CD is given. AB is equal to CD. Okay. One angle is 90 degree and two sides are equal. This much is given. So we should prove that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle DCA. So we should prove the congruency now. Here if you see triangle ABD and triangle ADC or DCA. AD is the common side, isn't it? AD is the common side. So we got the hypotenuse part, two sides and the right angle. So by RHS congruency we can conclude that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle DCA. So children, we completed the congruence conditions for triangles. Now let's see the congruence of quadrilaterals. So quadrilaterals are four-sided closed figures. There should be four sides and it should be closed. Any such figures are called as quadrilaterals. Okay. Now here I have quadrilateral ABCD and MNOP. Okay. If AB is equal to MN and angle A equal to angle M and BC equal to NO and angle B equal to angle N and CD equal to OP and angle C equal to angle O, and if AD equal to MP and if angle D is equal to angle P. If all the corresponding sides and the corresponding angles are equal, then we can conclude that both of these quadrilaterals are congruent. Okay. So children, in this chapter we learned about congruence through superposition, congruence of different geometrical shapes such as line segment, circles, squares and rectangles, angles, isn't it? Then we learned about the congruence of triangles and the conditions of congruency, that is SSS, ASA, SAS and RHS congruence conditions. Then we learned about the congruence of quadrilaterals. Hope you have understood all the portions and try to find some congruent objects around you. Okay? So take care. Bye.